heat across the region. What you need to know to stay safe this week.
Plus, the IRS is closing a major tax loophole. Who will it affect?
And a new inclusive playground at Alexander Elementary is ready for its first play date. We talked to the two moms who helped make it happen. Newswatch starts right now.
You are now taking a live look at College Green in Athens, where temperatures tied a record high today.
Yeah, it reached 92 degrees outside with humidity at nearly 80%. Well, we are still days away from the official start of summer, but parts of the country are experiencing record heat. Good evening, I'm Haley Sueno.
And I'm Shane Scalfaro. Welcome to Newswatch.
Well, Athens is expected to see near record highs all week. The heat index has been over 100 degrees during peak hours. This climate can be dangerous, especially for those with health risks. Athens City County Health Department Emergency Coordinator Kate Cottrell encourages everyone to stay safe and check on those who may be affected.
Everyone's susceptible to a heat-related illness. Look after and check on, make those phone calls, or stop, knock on the door, make sure that your friends and family members are all right.
For those needing to escape the heat, the Athens Community Center is open as an emergency cooling station during its normal hours. Well, we're joined by our forecaster, Isabel Isco. Isabel, you were out there today, and it's really hot outside.
It has been like uncomfortably hot today. It is nothing more than just uncomfortable, and we're going to continue that throughout the week.
Yeah, but I mean, when can we see some of those temperatures start to come down a little bit?
It's looking like once we hit that Friday, we're going to be seeing those temperatures go a little bit back to that summer normal. Looking all throughout Southeast Ohio today, though, we can see those temperatures in those mid-90s for Athens. Throughout the day, we were seeing those temperatures barely dipped into those mid-60s. 64 was our low for last night. And then just as soon as we hit that AM hour, it has been uncomfortably hot. That humidity is really making it feel warmer than these predicted temperatures. You can see that Athens currently 88. We are starting to cool down for the day, but it's still at that 88. It is feeling kind of uncomfortable. We are seeing some sporadic thunderstorms throughout the area. We're going to be seeing some thunderstorms warnings out in Zanesville, but for all of Ohio, we are under this excessive heat risk. This is going to be going until Friday at 8 p.m. We are going to be feeling these uncomfortable highs throughout all of this week. So definitely stick back with us to see just how much this is going to impact us. If you're going to be outside, make sure that you are drinking that water, being under those shaded areas, and not being too excessive with your outdoor work while this is in effect. We're going to be seeing this radar, just those isolated thunderstorms that we're going to be seeing. Athens, we're pretty much getting hit right now with these thunderstorms, and I'll be getting into that in my full forecast. Let's take it back over to Haley.
For those who are unable to avoid the high temperatures, there are ways to make sure that you stay safe. The Ohio Department of Health released their recommendations on how to stay cool in the hot weather. They say to drink cool fluids and, when possible, limit time spent outdoors to the evenings and mornings. And to watch the heat in your car, it can reach over 100 degrees inside a car in just 20 minutes during a hot day. ODH says that over 1,200 people a year die of heat-related causes. They say to watch out for yourself and your neighbors, especially if they're older.
Several fire stations across Muskingum and Coshocton County are forming a joint fire district. The Tri-Valley Joint Fire District will serve the village of Dresden, Cass Township, Jefferson Township, and Washington Township. Under these new fire districts, a representative from each government entity will sit on a fire board. There will be no increased cost to residents, and service will continue to the transition. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is investigating a hit-and-run accident on Radford Road off US Route 50. The patrol says a bicyclist was airlifted to a hospital in Huntington with life-threatening injuries. The accident occurred between 11 p.m. Saturday and early morning hours on Sunday. Troopers are looking for a 2023 or 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Troopers say there would be damage to the front and right fender. Anyone with information is asked to contact the patrol's Athens post.
Athens City Council is 2 weeks away from their month-long recess in July and are staying busy. Newswatch reporter Lucy Schaefer has more on their final regular session meeting tonight. Lucy, what exactly does Council have going on?
Haley, up for first reading is the city's proposed regulations for recreational marijuana sales. Now, what most people don't know is that only existing medicinal dispensaries can get their recreational licenses as of now. The city's current recommendations say any cannabis establishment must be at least 500 feet from schools, public libraries, public playgrounds, public parks, or other cannabis establishments. Churches are included in this proposal, carried over from the Ohio Revised Code. City planner Megan Jennings says Athens wanted to be prepared for when non-medicinal facilities could get recreational licenses and for when new dispensaries begin opening. The city's plan is subject to change based on state regulations, which say dispensaries need to be at least a mile apart. Now, City Council is also expected to join the Waste Management Council of Governments tonight, and I'm expecting to see a crowd here for that. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Lucy Schaefer in Athens.
Under a new House bill, hospital patients will not have to go through health emergencies on their own. The Ohio House of Representatives is unanimously passed House Bill 236, the Never Alone Act. It was created in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in order to ensure that patients didn't need to be alone. The act allows hospital patients to appoint an advocate to be with them in the event of a health emergency. Now, the bill moves to the Senate for further consideration. With fair season underway, Governor DeWine has announced millions in funding for one of Ohio's classic pastimes. $10 million in grants funding has been given to different fairgrounds across the state. All 94 county and independent fairs applied and received funding. The grants will support different projects to improve the experience for fairgoers. Fair season officially started June 8th and will wrap up October 12th at the Fairfield County Fair.
Well, dozens of individuals filled Court Street on Saturday to attend Boogie on the Bricks, the annual music and arts festival. Newswatch reporter Betty Kankamboidu reports.
The crowd at this year's Boogie on the Bricks are fulfilling the event's namesake.
See people you haven't met in years, and then obviously the cold beverages and the food. I'm eating myself up one side and down the other.
This is the second year for Boogie on the Bricks since it returned from the pandemic.
I think that the crowd that you see reflects how successful the event was.
For many people, it was a time to come out and have fun with family and friends and enjoy the food on sale and quench their thirst on a hot Saturday afternoon.
First time I was here, I was playing with a group called East of Heathen, and I'm very, very happy to be on this side of the stage, enjoying time with my family.
The event was started in 2005 to mitigate the negative impact summer breaks have on businesses. The idea is to draw people downtown to patronize local businesses. The organizers say everyone was pleased with this year's event.
The turnout's the best. The diversity of food vendors is the best. The diversity of marketplace vendors is the best.
For Newswatch, I'm Betty Kankamboidu in Athens.
Well, coming up, extreme heat forecasts stretch across the country. And the IRS is closing a major tax loophole. Who will it affect?
I can't say enough about this heat that we're about to have, but also we're looking at some rain very soon. Next on Newswatch.
These are the best home cooks in the country. This is a really delicious plate of food.
That smells good. They want something that's gonna be beautiful. Good luck.
I'm a Southern boy, so I like to fry it or grill it or smoke it.
Food is my love language. If I'm not cooking for you, I don't love you.
This dish just makes me happy.
That salmon fire. I'm coming, Tim. Tiffany's en route.
Tonight at 9 on WOUB.
You know a soup's going to be good when it starts with browned pancetta.
Get ready as Bridget, Julia, and the rest of the gang explore new recipes and cooking techniques.
And now the crimping begins.
Plus new gadgets, equipment, and ingredients.
Is there anything sadder than a burger on a plain bun?
It's a great new season of America's Test Kitchen.
I'm going through a lot of cake.
WOUB is recognizing members of our Cornerstone Society. The Cornerstone Society is a group that wants to ensure the future of public media in our region. It includes people across our area who value news, entertainment, and cultural programming, as well as the educational services WOUB provides. Also included are graduates of Ohio University who took part in the WOUB Student Professional Development Program. Thanks to the Cornerstone Society for their generous support. To learn how you can be involved, email woub@woub.org.
While Ohio deals with extreme heat, record heats are being set all across the country. The U.S. could see almost 200 new or tied heat records this week, spanning more than a dozen states. Temperatures in parts of the eastern half of the country will be 15 to 20 degrees above normal due to a heat dome over much of the country. To make matters worse, in some areas, the humidity will work in tandem with extreme heat to send the heat index to dangerous triple digits. Areas in the southwest are also at risk of wildfires, and several are already burning in California. High temperatures like these can be hard on people's health. And one of the vulnerable groups when dealing with summer weather is people suffering from asthma. Mandy Gaither has the impact severe heat can have on this group and ways to avoid asthma triggers this summer.
Spring and fall get a lot of flack for worsening symptoms of asthma, but summer causes concerns too, especially with stormy weather.
The humidity and wind associated with the thunderstorms break those pollens into very, very small particles that can be aerosolized very easily.
Dr. Laurie Manka with National Jewish Health says research shows asthma sufferers are at increased risk of needing to go to the emergency room during severe weather, but these patients can protect themselves.
One, I think if somebody has asthma, trying to really do some reflection about what seems to be the triggers. Is it driven by allergy? Do you have associated allergic rhinitis or inflammation of the sinuses related to allergy?
If allergies trigger asthma, reduce exposure by staying indoors in times of high pollen. Take allergy or asthma medicine as prescribed. Avoid touching your eyes. Shower and change clothes after being outdoors to remove pollen, and keep windows closed. Manka says to also frequently check forecasts.
Knowing where to find pollen counts, air quality index reports in your area to see what it's like outside, before you go outside.
Manka says to go over best treatment options with your doctor and formulate a plan on what to do if symptoms increase. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Today is definitely not the best day to head outside if you do have that chance of asthma. We're seeing some thunderstorms currently out there. That thunderstorm risk is gone for parts of Zanesville, but we're still going to have these showers throughout the area. They're very isolated and spotty. We're going to be seeing just anytime that you're going to see that rain, there is that chance that we're going to have some thunder, some lightning, not quite that thunderstorm risk area, but we are going to be having that throughout the night. We're going to be having about a 20% chance of those thunderstorms in combination with this heat advisory. I can't say this enough. This heat advisory is just because of that, those storms that are coming in, that's that humidity, that's those cloud cover, that's what's making it feel really uncomfortable and sticky outside. This heat advisory is going to be going until Friday at 8 p.m. So definitely throughout this week, try and avoid those high times of the temperatures whenever they're at their peak heat and whenever it is that humid and sticky outside. We're going to be seeing tonight that we're not even going to be dipping that far out of the 70s with that overnight low of 69. We're going to be having that 20% chance of thunderstorms possible. Those are those isolated pop-ups throughout the night that we're seeing just from having that heat in those clouds in the area. There is always that chance of a little bit of a thunderstorm that'll be continuing into tomorrow. Tomorrow, that temperature high just as high. We're going to be seeing at 94. Combined with those isolated thunderstorms, we're going to have those clouds. We're going to have that humidity. So definitely watch out for being outside for tomorrow. We're going to be seeing 12 hours ahead Early tomorrow morning, we are going to be in the clear. Once we look at 24 hours ahead, this time tomorrow, there is a little bit of a chance that we're going to be feeling exactly like today with those isolated pop-ups, and we're with a little bit of rain out there. Looking at 36 hours ahead, continuing that chance of these pop-ups. It's just from that humidity, those clouds. Anytime that we're going to be having those, we're going to have that little bit of chance of thunderstorm whenever we're this kind of isolated. We're going to be seeing at 48 hours ahead, this system that is growing that could be hitting us as early as Saturday, that is going to be coming in, cooling things down, but not very much. You're going to be seeing on that 7-day outlook that the next time that we're going to be out of those 90s is Monday. Looking throughout that 7-day outlook, tomorrow 94, we're not even going to be making it out of those 60s. Then Wednesday 93, the coolest day this week, and then all throughout the rest of the week, we're going to be feeling very, very hot. Let's take it back over to Shane.
Thanks, Isabel. The IRS is closing a major tax loophole that could raise $50 billion. It's an ongoing effort boosted by funding received through President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. The loophole is called basis shifting transactions. In them, complex business partnerships move money from one property to another to maximize tax deductions and minimize their tax liability. The IRS will now be on the lookout for these kinds of transactions that have no substantial business purpose other than to reap a tax benefit. Toyota is recalling 2023 Crown vehicles because of a camera defect. The automaker says the front and rear view camera cases can allow water to get inside, causing the cameras to malfunction. The concern is that the rear view camera obstruction could increase the risk of drivers striking pedestrians. Toyota says it will contact owners if the affected vehicles by mid-August. The company said dealers will repair the affected cameras or replace them if necessary for free.
The U.S. Surgeon General is demanding Congress put warning labels on social media apps, similar to the ones on cigarettes and alcohol. A 2019 American Medical Association study showed that teens who spend 3 hours a day on social media double their risk of depression. According to a recent Gallup poll, teens spend nearly 5 hours a day on those apps. The Surgeon General says Congress passing warning label legislation could lead to a decline in use. But he also suggested other actions, including making schools phone-free environments and restricting social media use until kids graduate from middle school. Well, next on Newswatch, a new inclusive playground at Alexander Elementary is ready for its first playdate. We talked to the moms who helped make it happen. And for the latest from Newswatch, follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
There's a lot of places we weren't allowed to go.
There was a black school called Lincoln Elementary.
We knew they weren't going to let us in.
We marched every day, whether it was rain, sunshine, cold.
I feel enormous pride in my mother for standing up the way she did.
Wednesday at 6:30 on WOUB.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
I hear the echoes all through the meadows. Breathe in and let go. That sweet surrender. I've been running all through the night. You can knock me down, but I've got my will to survive. Rise up, rise up.
Together, we can make real change happen.
playground at Alexander Elementary School is getting a much-needed makeover, and 2 moms are making it happen. This is the first time soon-to-be 4th grader Emma Weigel is setting her eyes on what will be a new playground at Alexander Elementary. And clearly, she's excited.
I think that's really awesome.
Up until now, Emma and other children with disabilities at Alexander Elementary School couldn't join the other students on any of the school's 3 playgrounds. And Emma's mom, Lisa, says it was taking a toll.
She was coming home upset. You know, it was hard for her to sit on the sidelines.
So Lisa talked to the assistant principal about building a more inclusive playground. Meanwhile, another mother, Anna Corpy, was thinking the same thing.
All that my son, who uses a wheelchair, will be able to do for the 7 years he's in this elementary school program will just be to go on their one kind of special needs swing. And that's when I thought, maybe we could do something about that.
Now, after 2 years of hard work, volunteers spent last week building the first of 3 new playgrounds at the school. Tom Demko of Demko Construction is one of those volunteers. He has a grown daughter with disabilities, and he wishes she had something like this when she was growing up.
That's the thing that intrigued me the most, is getting all the kids together instead of having, you know, handicap singled out from the other kids. And that to me, I didn't like.
When the final hole is dug and all the bolts are tightened, the end result will be life-changing for kids like Emma.
I'm just really excited to play on it.
She's going to be able to play next to her friends, and the wheelchair is not going to be something that's going to be in the way anymore. And it goes for all of the other children as well that use mobility devices. That's not going to be an issue anymore. They can all be together.
Joining us tonight, we have Anna Corpy and Lisa Weigel, the mothers behind the new playground. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. So let's start off with, can you tell me about some of the phases that are involved in this project?
Yeah, so the area is divided into 3 play spaces for different ages of children. So we have 2 places for 1st through 5th graders, and then we have a back area for preschool. So we basically are trying to do parts of each of those spaces in phases. So we name the phases play for the big play structure is the first phase. The next phase is L, large equipment, then the A, accessible surfacing, and then Y, the younger play space. So that's the 3rd play space. And we've just finished phase P, the first side, and also some of the surfacing we've raised money for.
Yeah, and then I know there was some work being done this weekend. There was, you know, drainage being put in, and Little Tykes wanted to do the surfacing. Talk to me about how that went.
Yeah, basically, we had such great progress with all the volunteers that we were able to kind of be a week ahead. So Little Tykes said, why don't we come a week ahead with the gravel? But we needed to build a drainage system. So Lisa and I sort of scrambled to find people on a Saturday, including my husband, who worked like a full day installing a drainage system, so that if we're going to put that much money into the rubber, it doesn't crack. And that's what's important. So we've been working on a lot of Saturdays since the start.
So then, what is next in the process?
So we always know that this is going to be a huge process this summer. We know that our summer's kind of knocked out. We're working on this huge project, but in the back of our heads, we've always had the next phases in our minds. The next playground would be Playground 2. We've already started fundraising for that. We've already have grant money coming in for that. So the next process would be to start thinking about that. We have some renderings. We have some ideas. We're really waiting for feedback from the kids. Once they come back and look at the playground that we already have for them, we really want some feedback so that we can move forward with the next phase.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And if you want more information and updates on the story, head over to woub.org and our social medias. Still ahead, if you're looking for something to do on Juneteenth, why not visit a national park? It might just be the fit the bill. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Experience tells me there's an overwhelming need for answers.
To feel useful would make a massive difference to his state of mind.
Your clock's ticking. I need to see where she drowned.
We're treating it as murder.
You look awful. If you had the merest bat squeak of compassion, you'd put an end to this.
We've got nothing. This is a situation you know little about.
Sunday at 8 on WOUB.
In hospital, you deal with cases. On the district, you deal with people. When mothers come to us, they bring everything they are with them.
There's nothing nicer than a fresh start.
You have done your best. Sometimes our best must be enough.
We're gonna take good care of you. We're with you now.
The world is eating more seafood than ever before.
Some of the resources have been overfished.
That has consequences. Humans have no option. If we are to survive on this planet and feed ourselves, we have to look after nature.
This is like where all the magic happens.
It's a very simple message. I want you to fish, but I want you to fish smart.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
Regardless of your stage of life, whether you're starting your first job, getting the keys to a new home, or enjoying retirement, it's never too early or too late to create an estate plan to care for loved ones and support the causes that are meaningful to you. WOUB Public Media is pleased to have partnered with Giving Dogs, a free resource for building an estate plan that fits your needs and protects the people and causes you care about. Visit WOUB.org and click the Support tab to get started today.
Finally tonight, the National Park Service is waiving entry fees at all national parks on Wednesday in honor of Juneteenth. June 19th is the national holiday celebrating the end of slavery in the U.S. It was on that date in 1865 that the last enslaved peoples in Texas were finally freed. Juneteenth officially became a federal holiday in 2021, and this year is the first time it will be a free entry day at U.S. national parks. While entry will be free, fees will remain in effect for parking and activities like camping and fishing. Wow, what a great opportunity to get out there for those who have Wednesday off for Juneteenth and spend some time at national parks.
Yeah, I wish I had been to a national park. Maybe this will finally get me out there to go do that for my Juneteenth.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I've never been to one either, so.
I've been to the Smoky Mountains, which was amazing. I want to go back and get out more, but it's lined with little cubs and bears, and the mountains are beautiful. So.
Well, yeah, well, hopefully wherever you are, you get to hydrating, because it is going to be a hot one all throughout the United States. You can see that in Athens and all of Ohio, it is under that heat advisory again until Friday at 8 p.m. You can see that heat index 94. It is 88 out there, but it is feeling like 94. It has been a very hot one with that humidity out there. Looking at tonight, that overnight low barely dipping into those 60s of 69. In that 20% chance of thunderstorms possible, we're going to be hitting most of that around that 7 to 8 p.m. hour. And then once we're looking at tomorrow morning, we're still going to be having that slight chance of thunderstorms, but those clouds are going to be continuing. It is going to be making that 94 feel like those triple digits and that low of 71. We're not going to be cooling off very much looking at tomorrow, so definitely stay prepared. Looking throughout the rest of the week, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies until Thursday, where we're going to be feeling almost like those hundreds without that heat index in place. Once we're looking at the weekend, that's whenever we start to cool off, but not quite that much. We're going to be looking at Sunday still at 93, and the next time that we're going to be out of those 90s is on this time next week.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Lucy Schaefer and Isabel Isco, I'm Shane Scalfaro.
And I'm Haley Sueno. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. We hope you have a great night.